my name is Matt the Tracker, and today we're going to be restoring the 1985 M.A.S.K Thunderhawk.
M.A.S.K, where illusion is the ultimate weapon.
Convert switchblade to jet mode. Surprise, Matt Tracker. It's mayhem. Battle station. Protect the decoder, Bruce. I'm going up. Stacks ready to fire.
M.A.S.K, Switchblade, Thunderhawk, and Rhino.
Fire!
Each sold separately with action figure.
Cover me, Matt. 10-4. Sato's getting away, but you're not, Mayhem.
M.A.S.K, Switchblade, Thunderhawk, and Rhino. Each sold separately. New from Kenner.
And before we get into the video, join our Discord. We talk about multiple things on there, from retro toys to modern toys to an army of muckmen. So make sure to just check it out if you have the Discord app, link in the description. The M.A.S.K Thunderhawk is a Camaro IROC Z28 model and is the main vehicle of the M.A.S.K toy line. M.A.S.K is a 1985 toy line produced by Kenner in response to declining Star Wars sales. If you didn't know, Kenner was the legendary toy maker that made Star Wars toys, but by 1985 sales were dwindling and the only thing left of that galaxy far, far away were just a couple of Ewoks. Instead of just giving up outright, Kenner decided to make another legendary toy line, M.A.S.K. M.A.S.K was a toy line in which G.I. Joe met Transformers, which also happened to meet Boba Fett. These figures were done at a smaller scale. They had amazing little masks. M.A.S.K is a series of toys that includes small and breakable parts and really easy to break mechanisms. Whether it be that these toys were store-bought over time, or they were just not really designed for rough play, these toys can and will break if not stored properly. But that is why we are here today, to restore this beautiful toy. So this piece will require quite a bit of elbow grease, but I believe it can be done. So to start off this restoration, we won't be needing Matt Tracker right now. We are going to get his M.A.S.K later, but what we need to work on is the actual Thunderhawk. So here are the screws to remove. I am kind of scared of these screws right here. They are kind of rusty, so we'll see how to remove those with a screwdriver. But otherwise, the other screws are actually pretty good looking. So let me unscrew those right now. There we go, we have both screws removed. They did take out some of the original plastic, but I believe they will be still screwable once they're done. So you want to keep these guys in a bag or a well-lit area. I'll just keep them on this little workbench here. But now time for the actual rusty screws. Apparently this toy was well played with, and well, we have to restore it. We'll just I'll just see if I can remove it with the normal screwdriver. If not, I will use another method which will be more effective. It does seem as if for this screw, the damage was only superficial, but it seems as if for this screw, we're actually gonna have to start using another method. Here, let me try to unscrew it using a bit more force. Yeah, it doesn't seem that if. Oh wait, yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out. Just gotta, use some more, bit of more force. Of course, you don't want to be using that much force for these guys because these are old toys. You don't want to break them more than they've already been broken. Alright, it looks like this one has gone out. Of course, this screw has received some more inner damage. That is why it was more hard to remove. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put these guys in some vinegar, and that will hopefully remove the rust from these guys. So here I have a glass of vinegar. So I'm gonna put the screws in for now. Here, let me drop them in. So, if you are having a bit of problems with removing rusty screws, unlike I did, you might want to use like a latex glove over your screw That's what you want to use if you're having some trouble. So we'll check back on this after the rust has been removed. So here is the Thunderhawk, and there's something inside, like something that's, if you can hear that, something shaking inside. So hopefully it's one of the pesky bombs that is always lost on these copies. So here we are taking apart the Thunderhawk. Again, very risky process. You gotta be very careful with this guy. Let me open the wing kind of a little bit. Alright, very risky process. Alright. And it was just a Lego piece. I am disappointed. Now I have to pay 20 bucks. But anyway, we got the top part off. Let's diagnose this little guy. So first off, let's start off with the top. So what I'm doing here is I'm pulling this side because it seems as if the spring has gone a bit loose here. So I can only remove it right here. Let me see. Just pulling it just a bit carefully because we don't want to break this magnificent toy. Just gotta keep on pulling until it comes to what you want it to be, which is, I think it is about now the size I want it to be. So let me just check if it works with my Thunderhawk wings. And this does require a little bit of patience as well. It will not detach if I attach the other wing. So yeah. So now that both springs have been thoroughly stretched, let's move this little guy aside. And here's the chassis. As you can see, the spring here is actually rusted at the bottom, so we're just gonna put that in the little vinegar bottle as well. And this button, this has to be removed in order to get to the bottom layer below this. Seems to be pretty easy. Let me use the... Oh no! It's another Lego piece. What, did he use these as his bomb or something? It's another Lego piece, but no bombs yet. There we go, I just connected these two. Anyway, back onto the actual thing, and there we go. I removed it simply by just holding this little piece and using some force, just pulled it upwards. And it's a little button piece for the Thunderhawk. Let's put that aside. We do definitely not want that to be lost. So let's continue taking this out. I pulled it in my process of trying to take out the little button there. But now that we got that button out, what we're gonna do now is unscrew these holes right here, these screws, because we don't want to break the bottom part because that would be a bit too much and we have the possibility of breaking it. So we're just gonna unscrew it from here. Just lift it as much as you can. Might need to do it from an angle, but go unscrew it. Might want to hold it with your thumb. We got one tiny screw out. Let's get the other one out as well. This one seems to be kind of rusty, so we might need to implement other tactics. Or we could just push down extra hard and get this little bad boy out of here. Just need to apply more pressure, or use it with your fingers, and there we go. Little piece is out. Alrighty then. Now, what we gotta do is take this piece out first. It is clipped on by these, but we can get it out using just a little bit of force. There we go, it's out. And with that also comes out the part for the mechanism with the button. That is also held on by this. And a little spring. This spring right here that operates the button. And now we have two springs and a couple of screws. I'm just gonna put those also in the vinegar, and also the smaller spring is for the bottom portion, and which we're gonna use for the mechanism. And this came out of the button that deploys the bombs. So let's put those in the vinegar and get to actually cleaning up this mess that we call a car. Now that we got those pesky pieces out of the way, let's let's get those out of the way and start the actual cleanup. On the insides of the car, I have the trusty Q-tips and alcohol. So let's just apply some alcohol onto the Q-tip, some rubbing alcohol, and let's start cleaning this guy, and let's speed up the process. Alright, now that that's clean and kind of filled with water, we'll clean that out eventually. I'm putting some of the more pesky accessories like this inside to wash. Trust me, this is not cleaning agent. This is just some water with some normal dishwashing soap. It just appears to look green. And there we go. Just like scrub that up. Scrub that up. Here, maybe I should add a bit more water, but no. Overall, this is looking pretty good. It's getting all the dust out. And now that we wait for those parts to dry, let's actually clean up the windshield a little bit, as long with the inside body of the car. Alright, so the main reason why the function wasn't working as well was because of the gunk between the parts. But now that we got all that cleaned up, it's time to reassemble this bad boy. Let's take this first spring here, put it in the little hole right there, designated for the specific spring, if you can see it right there. Focus, there it is. And then you're gonna want to line up these red pieces like so, make it look like it's an X. And then you're gonna want to take the black piece, just put it through. You're gonna want to put this little boy right here. The spring will provide some resistance, so don't give up if it doesn't work. There we go. Now, see, it's somewhat becoming functional. So next up, what you want to do is put this little tab right here, face the smooth side, and put it, just settle it right there, real nicely, and then you simply just put the screws in. After you get it screwed on, you want to take this slightly larger spring and then put it in the little container there. Should be a little bit hard, and it is inside, if you can kind of see it there. There it is. There it is. It is inside. You may not be able to see it, but I can guarantee you it is inside. So now we're gonna have to take this piece, sort of like thread it through, take it from the top, and take it in the bottom, and sort of kind of connect it. And then once you have it hooked on, try to hold this down so that it does go down in that tab right there, that little tab right there. And then you're gonna want to take this bottom part right here and just snap it down real carefully so that the screw doesn't loosen. And there you go. It should work properly now. And then you're gonna want to hold it down. You're gonna want to thread this pole, put it down, and just reattach everything, including these little pins here. It will take a little bit of time and patience so that the spring doesn't dislocate, but should be fine now. All we need to do and put now is the seat belts, which I will buy in the next episode of this. And we need to put this little boy here, just simple, just reattach it like so. Just reattach it like that. Really quite simple. And then put the Thunderhawk. And there it is. the new and improved Thunderhawk. As you can see, we have clearly made this beautiful playset better. It does work now. Its feature does work. As you can see right there, absolute beauty of a toy. As you can see, the springs also are up to fully working order, and they work really, really well. In my opinion, this is just a beautiful toy. But I won't be stating any more emotions, joy, until we get to this review, which will come if one of you guys eventually recommend it. But you also may be asking, why are there some parts that aren't there? Well, as I said before, this will be a two-part series in which one, the video you just saw, will be restoring the base body, and part 2 will be making and finding some of the parts. So if you're into that kind of thing, which I'm pretty sure you are, make sure to subscribe so that you do not lose out when that video does come out. And I'm just overall very happy to have restored this toy. If you can find something at a cheap price that is even slightly damaged, I suggest that you start restoring. Be brave about it. You can get it at a cheaper price and have some fun trying to make the toy great again. I mean, it's a fun hobby, and it's a good thing to do during quarantine, and it saves you a lot of money. So that's the end of this video. Make sure to tell me if you like these mask restorations. For me personally, it's one of my favorite lines from the 80s, and I do want to restore some of these magnificent toys in the future. So tell me if you're into that kind of thing. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Like, comment, share, do all the things that you gotta do, and I'll see you guys in the next video.